Hello, everybody! It is Wednesday! Welcome to the show. Who is joining us tonight? I'm sorry I'm running a few minutes late, everybody. But you're gonna love it. Hey, Jennifer, glad to have you here first tonight. Heather! Jennifer Welty! Karen! Barb! Dana! Welcome to the party! Dennis Sula is with us! Hopefully he's down off the ladder. Eric Abrams, welcome! Melissa on the treadmill, welcome! I have all the Welties all on one screen. You guys can share. That is very exciting. Most families can't share. Maybe you just all passed out next to each other. Michelle is with us. Adele and Dazzle. Cindy. Carrie from Colorado. Kitty Boyce is in the house. Julie Jankowitz. Thank you, Kurt, for signing in on your own device. I didn't want to think that you were sharing there with Jennifer. Hey, Karen. Kristen. Joanne in Arizona. Leanne from Atlanta. Molly from Colorado. Thank you, Dawn. I'm glad you like this. I had a sweater on earlier. I ditched it. My back was feeling a little out of funks before I was getting on the air, so I went to the pharmacy and popped a couple of pills, and they say if you add scotch to it, it's good. Hey, Vicky, Bailey, Wendy. Marsha, it was truly a pleasure talking with you today. Eric is with us, and Molly. Sharing one device. I love it. Alexa, hey, kitty. Kristen, Nancy. Bailey, how's Joni doing? Bailey, I emailed with her the other day. Marcy, Dana, and Jeff Johnson are in the house. Adding scotch is always recommended. You're going to like this episode, Kurt. I am going to be speaking your language tonight. You are totally going to get my presentation tonight. I have done practice on this. Well, how about spinach and artichoke dip, Melissa? Wait, just hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. This is going to be a fun episode tonight. And it's going to bring things home for a lot of you. And that's not why I wore green, because I talked spinach. It just was the way it worked out today. I was originally had a button-down shirt that I was going with, and then I went with this and a sweater. Hey, Angie Hulus, how are you? Are you still mad at me? Or are you and I cool now? Now you know what I was talking about or teasing you about. Or most of it anyways. I don't know. Maybe she didn't tell you all of it. Hey, Rose. Port Orange, Florida. Hey, Sarah's with us. Sarah's in the house. Sarah's in the house. What are we all grateful for tonight? Come on, people. It is Wednesday. It's Hump Day. What are we all grateful for on this Hump Day? Tell me what we're grateful for, people. Well, you'd never be mad. You'd be frustrated with me, Angie. That's what it is. It's not mad at me, but you'd be frustrated at me. I don't want to know. Rick is with us. Julie got her EIDL advance today. That's pretty cool. Vina's with us in Indiana tonight. What else are we grateful for tonight? I heard great things about the South Carolina economy tonight, Rick, on my way home. Wells Fargo decided to open. Heather made a sale. Whoop, whoop. Angie had her hardworking husband working at the store. That's good. Grateful for another day. That is the positive attitude. Carrie added 100 more things to her website. Dawn had her PPP approved. I think we're talking about that tomorrow. Your specific one tomorrow, Dawn. Heather Craig Burns is with us. Kitty made her first online sale. That's awesome. Nice weather in Nebraska today ahead of snow. They threw a flake at the end of the week on our weather too, just in some parts of the state. Sarah's grateful that her PPP. Melissa's grateful for love, sunshine, and a bailout. Chris pulled 17 orders for the weekly curbside pickup. Yay! Jaya's looking at good health. And Lisa said the truth that is heard the world over. People are starting to get their stimulus money and unemployment, and they're starting to shop a little more. Yes, they are. Hallelujah. Praise be. They are going to shop, and those that aren't shopping will shop more later. Do not worry. We are so primed. This industry, more than every other, is primed to take advantage of the post-pandemic retail world. Suzanne's already had happy hour. She did it with her shoppers. Happy hour shopping show again tonight at 5 p.m. and had a bunch of people watching. That is awesome, Suzanne. That is great news. That is such a positive way to start the night tonight. Carmela is with us. And Kelly learned how to do Facebook Live videos. All right. That is awesome. That's a lot of good news. That's a lot to be grateful for on this Wednesday. I am excited to have you all here tonight, and we've got a lot to cover tonight. So, Melissa, you might want to set the treadmill on a slower pace tonight. I'm going to try not to go too late, but I don't want you overdoing it here tonight. So what do we got? We have got our Good Morning, Good Night book, which none of you have bought off my website yet. I think you like me keeping it. This seems good. Are you ready? Lori McGraw, thankful she started her website back in December because it's rocking. Think about that, people, because that's one of the things. Melissa set her treadmill for 50 minutes in the hills. Go for it. Yeah, all right, Melissa. But back to Lori's comment that she started her website in December and it's rocking. Okay? So think about that. Those of you that have had one sale, like Kitty talked about, she had her first sale today. What is your website going to be doing in a couple months when we're beyond this? Okay? How are you going to be rocking? I mean, December to April, that's 4 months, 4.5 months, depending on which way you measure December and what way you want to talk about April. well, I want to call it 4 months, not 5, okay? So, and she's already rocking it. So that's where you're going to be. That's just going to be an added revenue stream. It's like opening another store for you. That's awesome. Jenny's in the house from Pasadena. Had a great talk with her earlier today. And Sarah's in the house. And Heidi. Heidi, I think you're on my list for tomorrow. I think you're in my call pile for tomorrow. I got a bunch of people, but I swear I saw Heidi in there. And I'm bad with names. But we are reading from our Good Morning, Good Night book. Thank you all for sharing what you're grateful for. I greatly appreciate it. It is a great way to start my night in this show. Oh, hang on. I better put on some glasses if I'm going to read this book. Found some glasses. Good morning. I don't know how to tell you this, but you're not perfect. You never will be. You keep growing and messing up and learning. And your quirks become strengths. You're so much better than perfect. Good morning. Wow. That was good. I like that. That was our good morning. So, I promised you, we got a lot to cover tonight, and I promised you, I've been promising it all day, spinach dip. I can tell that made people like Eric and Kurt hungry. Melissa's probably getting hungry. I did like that, Kurt. I'm down with the PPP. You know me. And I'm going to cover lots of PPP today. But we got to cover spinach dip first. And why do we have to cover spinach dip? Because a lot is going to be happening in this economy. Just like, and Eric's hungry. Just like in your stores, okay? Just like your customers, like Lisa talked about just a few moments ago, that are starting to get money, you're all starting to get money. And soon you're going to get large sums of money, okay? Both from the PPP is going to give you a lump sum of money, and the EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, excuse me, hang on, I got to swallow, is going to give you another big pot of money, okay? And so we need to talk about that for a while, for a little bit tonight. And I thought there was no better way to talk about it than to talk about spinach dip. And to have dip, we need chips, right? Chips, that's how we get chip and dip. Kirsty's with us tonight. Welcome, Kirsty. I'm glad to have you guys live tonight. I know you catch a replay a lot, but it's great to have you here live, Kirsty. So we start with chips. You know, these are just ordinary chips. Well, we'll cover that, Alexa. I love you. And I love you money-wise, too. You spent some of your money with me and got some chocolate. Russell's with us. Welcome, Russ. Just in time for chips. So, you know, you're out shopping and you pick up some chips. These are just ordinary tortilla chips, right? Nothing too exciting here. These are even from Aldi. So you know these didn't cost a lot of money. Probably 99 cents or something like that at Aldi. Big bag of Clancy's chips here. But then you're like, hey, you know what? You know what would go well with those chips? Dip. So you go over and you say, well, you know, all these dips are okay, but really, I'd like some spinach and artichoke dip. You know, that kind you get at Costco, because that is so much better than the dip that's at Aldi. And so you upgrade yourself and you buy the dip at Costco. Really good, you get a nice dip container here, but then you're like, you know, I'm not feeling it. I got these chips at Aldi, and they're 99 cents, and that solves my need. I need to eat and everything, and, you know, but these chips just aren't cutting it anymore. I can't use that nice, good spinach artichoke dip, this good dip on 99-cent chips. I gotta upgrade. Okay? I'm gonna get the Stacy's bag. Okay? I'm not at 99 cents anymore. Now I'm at $7. The Stacy's bag. But they're so much better than just the plain Clancy's chips. I mean, you know? I mean, would Kurt have Jennifer if he had just brought Clancy chips instead of Stacy's? No! Stacy's chips are so much better. So then you're cruising around the aisle. Well, you know you've got some wine at home, okay, to go with this. But is the box wine really what you should go with chip? I mean, the box wine was fine when we were eating the 99-cent chips. But really, can I have box wine with Stacy's chips? I don't know that the box wine really goes with that. So I better then go and get a nice bottle of wine. It's got the pretty rooster on it. It costs a little bit more. You know, it's not bad. I mean, the box was probably $5. This bottle of wine maybe is $10 or $12. Okay, because we're not like my nephew would buy a $100 bottle of wine. Okay, we're just, you know, I mean, what's another $5, $7? It's just a bottle of wine. Okay? Oh, hang on, you were about to check out at Costco, and it's spring season, so they have their seasonal dip too. So not only did you get spinach, which is awesome, you got their seasonal flavor, street corn dip. And oh my God, the flavorful of this is so good. So good. Street corn dip. Okay? Total upgrade, Melissa. Yes. Okay? We have just upgraded. So we started. And, hang on a second, because you're having guests and you want to offer them variety, you pick up some bite-sized everyday crackers at Trader Joe's on your way home, just so you can give them that extra variety of Stacy's chips and crackers to go with the dip. So we started with, yes, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. And it was really hard because that seasonal dip, I know the next time I'm in Costco, they won't have it anymore. The season of, who knew there was a street corn dip season, but that season will be over. Over. Just like that. It just was here, and now it'll be gone. Street corn dip. Okay? So, you know, I don't think I have to get out the pin calculator to tell you that I spent a lot more than my 99 cents, which was my basic need. I needed 99 cents for family, for lunches, for snacks in the house. I needed the 99 cents at Aldi. And when I went to Costco, I jumped to the $7 bag of chips because I got the fancy dip. And then I got the seasonal dip, which is a premium price because it's seasonal. And then my box of wine, okay, which is good table wine. I mean, it's not $2 chuck at Trader Joe's. This is quality box wine. It's a Pinot Grigio. Pinot Grigio. Yeah, that. Okay? I had to upgrade to the bottle because, you know, I couldn't show my friends the Welties over and serve from the box. So I had to get the fancy bottle. And because Kurt likes a good cracker sometimes, I got crackers too. All that started with a 99-cent purchase, which was my family's need. Why does chip and dip matter here, people? Why does it matter? It matters because a lot of your bank balances, which are incredibly scary right now. I know all your numbers. Numbers don't lie, people do. Okay, and I know a lot of you are comparing to others that are here, and you think their balances are magnificent, okay? And I don't kiss and tell, but I can tell you, you're comparing your back room to somebody else's front room, what you think is happening someplace else. You're writing a story in your head that does not exist. Okay? The truth is, everybody is hurting. Need versus want. Exactly, Molly. Need versus want. Okay? What does your business need versus what do you want? What are your dreams? This is not, the money that is about to come into your bank accounts is not about dreams. Okay? It's about needs for your business. It's about sustenance. It's about keeping your business alive. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive. It's about keeping your business alive to fight another day. The payroll protection money is about payroll. The economic injury disaster loan is about operating expenses to keep your business operating in the manner that it was. We don't know when this is really over. I have a document from FEMA and what's that other organization? the health one. It's escaping me. The little guy. Okay, that are talking about how to reopen America. This is a draft. We're not supposed to become public, okay? You'll probably read excerpts of it in tomorrow's paper, but it's not supposed to be public. Because it talks about things that are supposed to happen between now and May 1st, not before May 1st, areas that might not open till July or later, okay? It's got some scary predictions. That economic injury disaster loan, that big pot of money, is supposed to be many, many months of expenses for your business. Yeah, the CDC. Thank you, Melissa. I have had so many acronyms, I'm running out of which one belongs to which. CDC was the right one. Okay, but this money is to sustain the business. Okay, sustain. Give the business its needs. Okay, not its wants. I want nothing more than our businesses to be incredibly successful and not need this money. This money, at its core, when you say, yes, I take it, is a loan. All of it, on the day you take it, is a loan. Okay? I did the math for one business earlier today on the PPP, and if they took $10,000, okay, and they're like, well, it's just a 1% loan if I use it for all the other things I need to pay right now or want to pay or want to do for the spinach dip that I want and the bottle of wine. If I use it for all that, well, it's just a 1% loan. Well, on a $10,000 loan, that's a $600 a month payment, okay, that will be due. That if your business isn't healthy, if the economy is not back to where we want it to be, your business will not be able to pay. The PPP is great if you can use it for its intended purpose and it can convert to a grant. It is a terrible loan, okay? The economic injury disaster loan is a great cushion. It's a great safety net. It's a great way to keep your business alive. It's great if you don't need it. It's great if you only have to dip a little bit into it. And it's great if this is much worse than our worst fears and goes on longer. It can help sustain your business through this. But it is a loan. It is a loan for 30 years. The EIDL is a fixed rate of 3.75%, Sarah. And I love what it can do to make sure that we all get there to the other side of this, that we are all still standing, that we are all still there to serve our community. But remember, all you and your family need was these Aldi Big Dippers. You did not need the spinach dip. And if you needed the spinach dip, you certainly didn't need to go from a 99-cent bag of chips to the $7 bag of chips, although they are so good. Okay? And you certainly didn't need to say, well, the Welties are coming over, so I better have the corn dip too. Okay? And I like the Welties. They are fun people. I like hanging with them. But they would have been fine with the Pinot Grigio. Okay? Totally fine with it. They're good people. They don't need the fancy stuff. They don't need the rooster. They like the rooster, but they don't need it. Okay? They would have been fine with the box. They aren't snobs. Okay? They didn't need that. And they certainly didn't need me to then stop at Trader Joe's and get this box of crackers. Okay? They and your business need the 99-cent Aldi. This is keeping us alive. Well, I figured you'd like the rooster, Jennifer. And in periods of less austerity, we would get you the rooster. But I don't want you stopping for it. So I want you to be healthy. I want you to understand, because some of you are going to, when you get these loan offers, are going to be like, oh my God, this is like winning the Powerball. This is not the Powerball. This is a loan. This would be like getting a lottery ticket and then them owning your house, okay? I do not want people to give up their house. A couple other key points while I am on spinach dip, and I'm glad everybody is getting my point here tonight, because we have such high viewership tonight, and I'm really blessed for it. Kelly, that is just perfect. Kelly's, oh, that was great. That I appreciate the laugh there, Kelly. You're gonna get, some of you are gonna get offers well into the six figures for your EIDL, economic injury disaster loan. Remember, a couple of key points. If you take an offer that is over $200,000, you have to give a personal guarantee to it. If you take an offer, if you say, I only want $200,000 and they offered you $250,000, there is no personal guarantee on anything $200,000 or less. That's on the company. You can then, should this condition be worse, okay, and you need the rest of that. Let's say they offered you $250,000 and you take the $200,000 now, so there isn't a personal guarantee. But 3 months from now, this is going on and it's worse than we could have imagined, okay? You can go back and get a loan amendment to get the additional $50,000 or the additional $100,000 or whatever the number is. You can get a loan amendment within 6 months to get the additional money. And that is just part of the normal SBA guidelines. So thank you all for entertaining my spinach here tonight and following my analogy here. So let's see what else I got for you tonight. I got a lot for you tonight. Newsworthy things. JCPenney is expected to file for bankruptcy. That is more a leveraging move. JCPenney, as far as retailer goes, can go months and months. They have enough cash on hand to go months and months and months without any store revenue. Okay? And so they're using this as a leveraging move to renegotiate some of their debt, is why that is. But it is getting news as part of a retail apocalypse. Kurt, the personal guarantee is on amounts, it's on the entire loan for anything you take over, for loans that you take over $200,000. So if you take a loan for $205,000, it's not just on the $5,000 part, it's on the whole $205,000. But if you only take $200K or less, there is no personal guarantee. The SBA will not require it. They will delete it. You're all set there. If you applied for the economic injury disaster loan and you didn't get an application number when you applied, it didn't go through, so you should reapply. If you don't have an application number, that is the one clear note on the economic injury. You can even take right up to 200, Kurt. You can take 200,000, but do not add a 1 or a penny or anything else on it. On the EIDL, it is interest. There is interest on all of this until it's forgiven, on anything. On the economic injury disaster loan, there is interest accruing from day one, even though your payment isn't due till a year later. Your first payment on the economic injury disaster loan is due 1 year to the first of the month in which you take it. So if you took your economic injury loan today on April 15th, your first payment would be due on April 1st, 2021. Okay, so anytime in April, it's due on April 1st. Anytime in May, it's due on May 1st of the following year. So it's not quite a year. Yes, people are getting the EIDL. And I'm recommending that they get it, Nikki, and put it aside. You have to be disciplined. Put it aside. The best thing that happens is that in a year you pay it off and you pay a tiny bit of interest because you didn't need it. Julie, no. If you got the advance, you're all set. Okay, if you've gotten the advance, you're all set. But some people never got as far as an application number, and it didn't register in the system. A lot of people got as far as an application number, and it said you completed it, and they closed out of the screen. They didn't print it, they didn't record it, they didn't save it, and that has become the issue. So I mentioned that. But JCPenney and some of these other games that are going on with big retailers are games. They're using them as leverage, okay, to restructure things. And it may backfire on JCPenney, okay? Yes, they have some issues, but they've got a lot of cash, okay? They have a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines, and it becomes some of the moves that people are making is disingenuous, and I'm not for disingenuous. Stephanie, if you do a loan amendment that puts you above 200, yes, you will have to do the personal guarantee at that point. Jaya, that is correct. You may pay a small amount of interest on money you do not need, but that you put aside, but it's a safety net. You also don't have to take anything that you're offered for 6 months. The loan is the offer is valid for 6 months. No, Sarah, people are seeing both right now. A lot of people are getting the advance this week, but other people are getting closing documents on the EIDL or closing. So I know many, many people this week that got the advance. I know many more that have gotten the email, and I'll post the email that you're looking for, that you will get to go complete your loan documents tomorrow. I didn't get to sit at my desk as much today. I got to play on the truck for a few minutes. Today, in between calls, but you can, but people are getting the whole sums, and I'm gonna hear that continuing throughout the entire month. People are getting the amount that they agreed to in the EIDL, and that money is coming, and it's coming pretty fast. Money is starting to flow very fast. So I did want to cover that with JCPenney, but other big retailers are doing that, and that's making news about a retail apocalypse. But it's not the retail apocalypse that counts. Okay, and this is again what it looks like. I have a color version. Gonna cover the PPP in a second, Rick. The EIDL is good for 6 months. The PPP is not. Okay, the SBA approval email will look like this. I have it in color. This box where I have it circled right there is in green in that email. This is what that email looks like. I will get it posted tomorrow. I'm not leaving my desk tomorrow. Maybe for the bathroom, but other than that, I'm not leaving my desk tomorrow. I will be on the phone and with you all day and posting things all day long tomorrow. Other retail news was that made headlines today was March retail sales were down 9%. The bigger news in that was when you broke it down by categories. Categories such as clothing and such, which is no surprise to anyone here, were off by 50% or more. Okay? 50% or more. And that is huge. The bigger problem for traditional retailers is they didn't either have the inventory in stock because it was coming from China and it was delayed from when China's factories were closed. So they have all this dead inventory that was seasonal that isn't going to sell or that they're going to clearance. Or it's sitting in stores and they can't get to it. So that becomes the bigger issue. It is sitting in locked stores and not doing anybody any good. So expect some clearance sales and such in the traditional retail set and not timely inventory. But just keep that in mind. This spring-summer season may not be an opportunity for full-price merchandise, but it should be an opportunity to sell a lot because of all the money, as others have said, that's sitting on the sidelines and starting to get into people's accounts. It's not going to hurt us that bad, Sarah. It really isn't. They're going to have some sales, yes, but the value that we provide is going to be even greater, and your sales are going to be phenomenal. I really, truly believe that. My ultimate point with the news and giving you little tidbits of what's really happening in business news is not to get you bogged down in it. I don't want you bogged down in it. I don't want you upset or fearful of it. I just want you to be aware of it. So that brings us to the PPP, I guess, right? Hang on one second. Let me just make sure what else I got in my pile here. Yes, the Pizza, Pasta, and Pie Act, right? That's what that is? No, it is not the Pizza, Pasta, and Pie. I am not sure I am ready to be green screened like the Queen, Sarah. I am not the Queen. I am just your humble servant here, helping us all get to the other side of this. That is all I want. I want nothing more than all of us to be, get to the other side of this, but I want us to buy the right chips, okay, for our needs, not our wants, okay? I want us to have the right chips and get to the other side of this. I do not want us to be eating the fancy chips and the fancy dip and everything and as we get to the other side. The other analogy that I gave someone earlier was, I'm like, I don't want this to be like you're in college and you drank all night and you woke up hungover. So in a year, I don't want you hungover realizing you have these big loan payments to make. So I want this to be really a blessing on everybody and how we survived in this, and not only how we survive, but how we thrive after all of this, because we will thrive. We will rise and we will thrive and we will be there together, and I will be standing with you. So the PPP is our other big issue, and I know I'm running up against Melissa's treadmill schedule here, so I got to work on that. Okay, and she's on a hill today. You know, I mean, I don't get the treadmill. Well, I guess I do. I've done the treadmill, but so the PPP. There have been, and I have all of them. Okay, there have been 6 different. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you can type or text to type while you're on the treadmill. That makes me feel better. Oh my. Only if you wear the Russian red, Russell, can you be the next Melissa. Okay. You're eating into my time here, Russell. Making me laugh. You have, there have been, since the 3rd of February, 6 different, hey, it's about your needs, Russell. It's not about your dreams right now. It's about your needs. Did you not pay attention at the beginning of the show? You need Aldi chips. You don't need fancy things. Although I haven't heard about a major sinkhole in Florida from when you fixed the sink, so I'm still proud of you for that. There have been 6 different major updates to the guidance to lenders on the Payroll Protection Program. Okay? 3 in the last, really 2 days. They called it 3 days, but 3 in the last 3 days. Major updates, okay, to the guidance that was given to lenders on the Payroll Protection Program. And there's the interim final rule, and still the final regulation, the final forgiveness paperwork isn't due until the 26th, although it's still hopeful that that comes before. So what does that mean for you and your loans? People have been taking loans, not taking loans, everything else. And one of the things that is true is and will be true moving forward is you'll be able to apply any of these guidances that worked for you towards your loan depending on when you took it. For example, if you took it on, April 7th or April 5th, okay, and the interim guidance that was out on the 3rd, you'll be able to apply those if there's anything in there that's beneficial to you. Okay? So that is an important, and that's actually in the updated rules that if you filed an application based on the version of the interim rules published on X date, do I need to take action based on the updated guidance? And the answer is no. Okay? And I'll be posting all this. Okay? So the key is still that this money is for payroll. The word payroll is right in it. Okay? Again, this is a loan until it is forgiven. It is a 1% loan with no payments for 6 months, with a due date of 2 years. So that means there are 18 payments on whatever you take. So if you're taking $10,000, that is roughly a $600 payment. So for every $10,000 you take, if it stays a loan, it's a $600 a month payment once payments start. So do the math. Get out the calculator. If you can't do the math, call me. Email me. It is Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, and I will help you do the math. Okay? The key is restoring payroll. So the problem is that you need to spend 75% of it on payroll or payroll-related expenses. What is a payroll-related expense? So nice of you to ask. A payroll-related expense is payroll, insurance, okay, health insurance, not your auto insurance. Okay, health insurance, not life insurance, not disability. Health insurance, okay, and retirement contributions. So all three. Payroll, health insurance, retirement contributions. Those three things need to equate to 75% of your spending. Okay? Totally. There is updated guidance, and it looks like, and I'm waiting for a confirmation, okay? But keep in mind, hitting the 75% dollar threshold is hard enough if you haven't restored 75% of your full-time equivalents. So in the updated guidance, okay, they are talking about that you have till June 30th to restore your full-time equivalent headcount and salary levels for any changes made between February 15th and April 26th. So what do they mean by salary levels? Okay, some people have, instead of furloughing people, have reduced their salaries. Okay, you've heard that with the big companies. You've heard CEOs taking half their pay or 30% less, etc. You have to restore those salary levels to their previous levels by June 30th. So for any employee's payroll that you cut. So some people have reduced salaries or pay levels but kept people on. And that's what that is referring to. So you have to restore your full-time equivalent and salary levels by June 30th. Okay, it's hard to spend the 75% in the 8 weeks because you have 8 weeks from the time it is dispersed. And disbursement date, again, is up to the lender. Okay? The lenders are under extreme pressure, unbelievable pressure, to get this money to you quickly. They are under this pressure from the government, and they are under this pressure from the news media, because all the news media is saying is there's all of these people. The government keeps on saying they're spending $2 trillion, trillions of dollars, pew, pew, trillions of dollars, spraying stimulus all over the place, but nobody has any money. So the government's saying to the lenders, you've got to get it to people fast, 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 fast. And especially the bigger banks are making you take it immediately. Some of the smaller banks, some of the community banks are working with people because they know you're not open and they know you're not going to hit the thresholds. If you are up against the wall if you are up against the wall and you either have to take it or you're going to lose it because of your lender. Okay? I'm telling people, and I told one person just before I got on this call tonight, before we went live, okay, I told them to take it and put it in a separate account, and we do the math in a couple of days to see if there was a way we could help them use it. Because if there wasn't a way they could use it correctly, we would take it from that account and just pay it back with the 1% interest. Fine, be done with it, and not get the grant. But if there was a way we could do the math for their business and their employees, I would help them do that. So I am just going to clarify this week with people that, we have till June 30th to hit the 75% FTE threshold. What that'll mean is you still have to spend the money all on payroll, but we might be able to work some things with executive compensation. You might be able to prepay things like insurance. You might be able to prepay some managers and hit the threshold to spend that on payroll, insurance, or retirement benefits. Some of you, it may be worthwhile to start a retirement program as part of this. Maybe, Marcy, we need to talk about that. Marcy, email me and we'll talk tomorrow. I'm happy to talk about it because that is a potential issue / benefit. Eric, they just need to be on your payroll. They don't have to be physically working. The advance comes off of it. So let's talk about the advance. I'm going to come back to the advance, Julie, so put a pin in that. Rick, once you take the PPP, unemployment does not automatically stop. Unemployment stops when you put people back on the payroll. So there's some differences with that. Happy to discuss your individual situation and making that work. And granted, I have most of your numbers, so that should be an easy conversation. Just reach out to me, send me an email, and I'll get you on my call list tomorrow. That's correct, Carrie. If you take it and the math doesn't work, so let's use the example that I just gave, okay, where you take the money and a week from now, or the 26th, when we really have all the regulations have to be finalized, okay? They aren't supposed to edit them after the 26th. We look at the final regulations on the 26th, and they're just awful. They're not going to benefit your situation, okay? And let's say your area is going to keep you closed through May, and there's no way you're going to hit the thresholds. Yes, the worst case is you're going to pay 1% interest on that for 6 months, because your payments don't start for 6 months. So the worst case scenario, if you park it on the side, you'll pay 1% on it for 6 months. Okay, but I'm expecting further clarifications, and there's some things you can do with in many of your stores based on your compensation levels and other benefits that you offer to hit these numbers. So it gets creative, but the other part of this is the most likely factor that is the proven factor for how you spent 75% of the money is what documentation will be required to submit to my lender with my request for loan forgiveness. The Form 941 and state quarterly wage unemployment insurance tax reporting forms or equivalent payroll processor records that best correspond to the covered periods with evidence of any retirement and health insurance contributions. Okay, and you must also, whether or not you have employees, you must also submit evidence of business rent, interest payments on personal property, or business utility payments during the covered period if you used any of the loan proceeds for those things. Even if it falls into the 25% that you're allowed, you still have to provide documentation. So again, this money is best served in a separate account. It makes it really clean. It makes it really easy to show that all these expenses this is the money that came in, this is the money that came out, and this is where it went. Makes it very, very easy for loan forgiveness. But if it's on the fence and your banker's got a gun to your head, and this was literally one of the people I talked to this evening before I went live, was like, I either take it or I'm out of luck. And I said, put it in a separate account and we'll look at it in a few days and see if we can make the numbers work. Because you either want to make the numbers work or not. Okay, you do not want to have this as a loan that in 6 months you have to start making payments on. And maybe in 6 months your sales aren't 100%. So 6 months from now is October. Maybe in October you're only hitting 80% of what you did last October in sales. Okay? If you have an extra payment, then that wouldn't do good. If it is a retirement account that the business has been funding previously, yes, Joanne. So would a payment into an IRA count as a retirement expense? Yes, if that's what the business was doing as its contribution prior to that. It's just got to all be documented. And again, part of it is better your relationship with your banker, because it's going to be incumbent upon your banker to verify this stuff and ultimately sign off on it to the government that they have verified your documents. So if you've got a great relationship with your banker, I had one person that actually took the email from my banker that said they were deferring and sent it to their banker, and it's like, well, his banker, and they're like, well, he has a great relationship with that, and their banker actually said he has such a great relationship with his bank that they would do that, and the bank is taking part of the risk because of how great a relationship they have with him, and he's been with them so long. And they said, well, I've been with you just as long as he's been with them. And so that got their bank reconsidering. Jennifer, I'm expecting that you can start a retirement plan for employees that would count towards it. So from all the indications, and I have a request out for clarification on that, but retirement contributions are clearly done, and it's all about payroll. So yes, I've actually considered that as one of our ways to hit our threshold, especially if I'm forced to take the money early, or if business doesn't justify returning to full capacity. That we'd add a retirement plan to do that, because that was on our list of things to do too. It was on our wants, okay, not on our needs, but it would really fulfill this purpose without adding a lot of cost. You have to keep in mind that most retirement plan, the biggest cost to the business, if you started a 401k, is the annual costs of the paperwork and such and establishing the plan. And if you're with a good provider, that's somewhere between $1,200 and $2,000, usually right around $1,500 a year in administrative cost. It is simple to set up a simple retirement, but you can do some other things with a traditional 401k plan that you can't do with a simple retirement that lock you into that, Eric. But it is something, and I have providers out there I can refer you to that'll do a good job, that are good, honorable people and serve people nationwide. So happy to do that for you, Jennifer, if you need it. I got a guy that does Florida. But that is a good option. Okay, to create that, and likely a good option in your case, Jennifer, because it really wouldn't add a lot of cost, but would help you. Oh, the advance. Thank you, Andrew. So if you got Andrew, you laid it out perfectly. You laid out my whole example. So you have a $30,000. So for everybody to follow me, you have a $30,000 PPP. Okay, but you got a $10,000 advance on the economic injury disaster loan, the EIDL. Okay, so now when they issue your PPP money, you only get $20,000. The 75% is based on $30,000, not on $20,000. Okay. That is 100% correct. Thank you for reminding me of the question, Andrew. I apologize for getting off track there. But that is correct. So $30,000 PPP, you got a $10,000 advance. So when the PPP was funded, you only got $20,000. So you have to spend 75% of $30,000, not 75% of $20,000 to hit the threshold for forgiveness. And that is in the 8 weeks following disbursement, has to be spent on payroll-related expenses. So that is key. And I think that is pretty much up on Melissa's treadmill time here, which means I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. I am here every night answering your questions at 8 o'clock live in the NARTS Facebook group. Live. This video replays the next day on the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store because you are not alone. All the documents that I reference, everything that I do, Miss Adele I send up to the Facebook group, and they are posted to narts.org/resalestrong because we are resale strong. Taking a look at I am the easiest guy to reach. If you email me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com, I will call you back. If you get a call from a 508 number or a FaceTime from a 508 number, you know it's coming from me. I have a whole bunch of you that I'm calling tomorrow and going to bring you up to date. So for those of you that weren't here at the beginning of the program, in our Good Morning, Good Night book, in our Good Morning, we said, I don't know how to tell you this, but you are not perfect. You never will be. You keep growing and messing up and learning. And your quirks become strengths. You are so much better than perfect. Good morning. Our good night tonight is good night. I don't know exactly how to tell you this, but you're not perfect. You never will be. You keep growing and messing up and learning. And today's F up becomes a turning point once you survive it and see it behind you. You leave perfect in the dust. Keep going. Boom. That is our good night, people. I do weddings. I do bar mitzvahs. I do anything that there's a party at. There doesn't even need to be spinach dip or bottled wine or a bottle of scotch. I am there for you. I am here every night live at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find me at Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. I will see you all tomorrow. It's dinner time. You and you and you are not alone running this store, especially you. I'll see you tomorrow, everybody.